What is happening, buddy? This is Cody, aka DFS Prodigy, coming to you live breakdown. So this is kind of a new segment, breaking down basically the NFL season. I kind of had this idea I posted on Twitter about how I want to break down every single team. Um, Basically in my free time, breaking down every single team, talking about the fantasy impact that they will have on the season before we get ready for our best ball drafts, our season-long drafts for fantasy. I'm big in the NFL and NBA. Those are the two main sports. I kind of dabble in golf, MMA, and tennis, but NBA and NFL are little babies that I have. Um, so we're talking about this. We're going to start with Buffalo Bills. Again, this is kind of a new segment, so kind of bear with me because I normally don't do this. I normally just do DraftKings, and FanDuel and Yahoo and stuff like that. I don't really do content like this, but I kind of wanted to talk about it. I figured it'd be fun. I figured it'd be kind of a fun way to interact with everybody for the upcoming NFL season. So, kind of starting off with the Buffalo Bills for today. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do a team every single day, um, until we run out of teams, obviously. But I'm gonna try to do every single team and then kind of think about other ideas to kind of ramp up the NFL season. But we're starting with the Buffalo Bills. Like I said, we have the depth chart up. We have the football rankings provided from ESPN for now. These will change obviously with injuries coming in the preseason and stuff like that, but it is what it is. This is mainly going to be about offense. This isn't really going to be about defense because we're not really worried about defense in season long, unless, like I said, you do standard, but not really in best ball. But um, let's kick it off. Like I said, let's just talk about it and see how this goes. So Josh Allen, obviously, we know Josh Allen. We know the upside he brings to the table. Um, he's going to be obviously the number one, number two ranked quarterback. You cannot go wrong with him. I know everybody does underdog kind of best balls and DraftKings. Um, he's obviously one of the best options on this in the entire NFL. There's not much to talk about. The receivers is what we need to talk about. Running backs and tight end. That's kind of where we're going to have the biggest impact, I think, obviously for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, that's not really a uh, smart opinion, not really, I guess, to say that, oh, yeah, you have to play Josh Allen. I mean, the kid's a stud. You know he is. I would snag him as soon as possible, obviously. You cannot go wrong with having Josh Allen on your fantasy team. There's nothing to worry about with Josh Allen unless obviously there's injury, but I mean, the quarterback is his position's obviously his. This is where it's going to get interesting is this running back field. Damian Harris is not really being highly drafted. I don't understand that. I don't understand why, if you look at these rankings, Damian Harris, you're gonna have to keep scrolling. He's below Clyde Edwards-Helaire. When do we know Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the first running back on the Chiefs? It's Pacheco. We know that. I mean, Rashad Penny is above him. Khalil Herbert is above him. Tyler Algier is a step below him. I don't understand that. Damian Harris is a great option to snag in those later rounds. It's Damian Harris. We saw the upside he brings to the table on the Patriots. I love his upside. The pass catching abilities there. That's what the Buffalo Bills want is a pass catcher. Do you really trust James Cook in the receiving backfield? Because obviously, I mean, if we look back on the recent games, it's not really there. We've seen him fumble the ball plenty of times whenever he had the opportunity to be the receiving back and backfield option. I love Damian Harris. And I'm going to let him keep falling in fantasy drafts. I'm going to keep snagging him. You have Chuba Hubbard above him. You have Ezekiel Elliott, who's not even on a team above him. I don't get it. I don't understand why Damian Harris is being drafted so low in underdog drafts and DraftKings drafts. I love the upside. Latavius Murray, I mean, he's a great handcuff option also. I mean, we saw him on the Saints have the upside whenever he needed to step up on the goal line. I think this is James Cook role to lose. I don't think James Cook is ready to have that one man solo backfield. I mean, again, they had Devin Singletary last year. We know that. I'm going to keep drafting Damian Harris. I'm going to keep letting him fall to me, and I'm going to keep reaping the rewards. I love that. Stephon Diggs, we know he had personal issues going on with mandatory camp. He's obviously back. He's ready to go. Um, Gabe Davis, we saw the upside. I mean, what a fancy darling he was at the beginning of the season. I mean, if we look back at all his recent games, let's just kind of talk about it because that week one, where he went um, four catches, 5 targets, 88 yards. Then he had that big game against Pitt. Then he had that decent game against KC. Then he fell off the cliff again. Then he had a big game against Minnesota. I mean, he was on and off the cliff What do you want to do with him? What are we doing with Gabriel Davis? Because if we look at the rankings, like I said, I don't think it's going to work if I do Control F. Let's find him. Gabriel Davis, where are you? 46. So he's a below Jordan Addison, which is interesting to me. Below George Pickens, below Jacoby Myers, Dotson, Michael Thomas, Brandon Ayuk. If you look around him, OBJ, Lazard, Tony Gallup, I think he's right where he needs to be in the fantasy rankings. I'm not really trusting him right now. I kind of want to see the upside that he brings first because we know he can fall off the cliff like we saw last year. Um, Shakir, I'm not really looking at. Coulter is interesting to me. Remember him? I mean, we saw one target for him. I mean, he's kind of had an interesting season. I'm not really looking at him. I'm not really looking at Hardy, Shakir. Like I said, I mean, the main offense is obviously going to be Stephon Diggs, Shakir, kind of a late round flyer. Um, Talk about one of these guys is going to go away. Trent Sherfield, remember him on the Dolphins, kind of a downfield threat. He's going to be kind of take over the role of Isaiah McKenzie. He's going to try to take over that role as a downfield threat. I wouldn't mind snagging him in later rounds. It's going to be between him and Shakir for the wide receiver three, in my opinion. But the tight end spot is what I want to talk about. Dalton Kincaid. They spent the first round pick on him. This is where we need to talk about this. So Dawson Knox, can he play a full season healthy? I do not think so. I mean, he's already questionable, but I don't think he can play a full season healthy. Um, that's what worries me. Is something's going to be wrong with him. Um, I like Dalton Kincaid as an end zone threat. I think he's going to see targets. I think he's going to be kind of the secret threat for this offense. With the shaky wide receiver three option, I can see Kincaid seeing snaps. I would not mind grabbing him in the later rounds either. Dawson Knox, though, I don't really want to go to him. Um, I'm much other kind of go elsewhere. I know he's going to be probably high up. Where is Dawson Knox? 24. So he's in the mid range. I like Dalton Kincaid though. I really do. So, like I said, the offensive line, they added Connor McGovern. We saw that. I mean, my fellow cowboy. But the offensive line is going to be the main concern. We just need to see how this offensive line is going to shake out. Again, the pass catching option or the backfield for the run back option is going to be there. Naomi Hines. I mean, look, they added Naomi Hines last year. We saw that. We saw how that went. It was kind of interesting for a minute, and then it kind of fell off the cliff. I mean, it was kind of all over the place. Not really something that weren't noteworthy, but this running back field, the stat. I mean, with James Cook, Damian Harris, Latavius Murray, and Naeem Hines. So obviously, Josh Allen. Obviously, you can go to him. I can't say anything about Josh Allen. You already know. Stephon Diggs, obviously a great target in the upper mid range. I'm going to lock a low with Damian Harris. I wouldn't mind snagging Latavius Murray in later rounds. I'm not really trusting James Cook. I think he's going to be a forgotten man in this backfield. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. This could be James Cook's season, but I just want to see how he folds out first in the first few games and see how the running back snaps kind of move forward because we know they weren't really running the ball last year a ton. It was mainly Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis, we'll see how this goes as the downfield threat, but I like Trent Sherfield as a downfield threat, kind of taking over that Isaiah McKenzie role. And then I'll load up on Dalton Kincaid in later rounds. Because I don't trust Dawson Knox playing a full healthy season. But again, this is kind of rough. I know this is the first kind of rundown of a team. We're going to break down another team tomorrow. We're going to start with the AFC first, kind of going through the divisions. But again, it's kind of fun to talk about fantasy football in the middle of June because what else are you going to do? You have MLB. I don't really dabble in MLB, but I can't watch MLB for every single day. There's no way. So, again, thank you for tuning in. It was a great save for us. Night, everybody. Have a good one.